Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Memorial Field on the campus of Needham High School in Needham, Massachusetts. Here to bring you today's contest, the 2022 Lou Tompkins All-Star League 13 and Under Division Championship Game. The last two contestants left here in the 13 under division for this year are Brookline and Lincoln-Sudbury. These two teams took care of business yesterday in the semifinals. Brookline finished a thrilling come-from-behind victory in the 7th inning against Andover. 3 runs in the final inning to come away with a win 6-4, while Lincoln-Sudbury dispatched Needham on the same day 10-5. So we are slated for a 10 a.m. start here at Memorial Field. So let's take a look at the starting lineups for the two teams coming in today. Both teams kind of just chilling off to the sides while they wait for this game to get going. We should be going soon. So in the meantime, let's take a look at the starting lineups for today. All right, first we'll start with Lincoln-Sudbury, which will be the home team on the scoreboard, so they will bat second. Leading off for Lincoln-Sudbury today, the second baseman, number 88, Anthony Sacco. Batting second for Lincoln-Sudbury, the center fielder, number 50, Ben Clarkin. Batting third, the left fielder, number 4, Ben Nelson. Batting fourth and starting on the mound for Lincoln-Sudbury today, number 15, Liam Gregg. Batting fifth and completing the battery, the catcher, number 3, Luke Danielson. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 27, Matthew Pazak. Batting seventh, the extra hitter, number 13, Tyler DeMichelle. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 5, Armon Gordon. Batting ninth, the third baseman, number 45, Drew Blanchette. And batting 10th, rounding out the starting lineup for Lincoln-Sudbury today, the shortstop, number 23, Jackson Hornbeck. So that is the starting lineup for Lincoln-Sudbury today. Sacco at second, Clarkin in center, Nelson in left, Gregg on the mound, Danielson behind the plate, Pazak in right, DeMichelle the extra hitter, Gordon at first, Blanchette at third, and Hornbeck at short. So now let's take a look at the starting lineup for the visitors on today's scoreboard with Brookline. Leading off for Brookline today, the extra hitter, number 50, Hugh Bollinger. Batting second, the shortstop, number 12, James Skeffington. Batting third, the pitcher, number 8, Michael Doherty. Batting cleanup for Brookline today, the catcher, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi. Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 1, Corey Vasquez. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 41, Thaddeus Gamau. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 23, Eli Hoffman. Batting eighth, the center fielder, number 2, Trig Driscoll. Batting ninth, the left fielder, number 22, Q Miller. And batting 10th, rounding out the lineup for Brookline today, the right fielder, number 16, Ginny Cho. So that is the starting lineup for Brookline today. Bollinger, the extra hitter, Skeffington at short, Doherty on the mound, Fantuzzi behind the plate, Vasquez at second, Gamau at third, Hoffman at first, Driscoll in center, Miller in left, and Cho in right. Once again, thank you for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Memorial Field in Needham, Massachusetts, bringing you live coverage of the 2022 Lou Tompkins All-Star League 13 and Under Division Championship game between Brookline and Lincoln-Sudbury. If you go on to enjoy this live stream, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. Obviously, this is the last game of this season, but I cover plenty of Brookline sports, and the fall season is just around the corner. So be sure to stay tuned for my upcoming live streams. Subscribing to the channel can help. And if you've got anything to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat. If you notice me flubbing the pronunciation of anyone's names, please correct me in the live chat. If you notice any technical issues coming up that maybe I don't notice on my end, please let me know in the live chat as well. If you just want to shout out your favorite team or player, you can do that. We've got our first live chat of that kind from Carla Vasquez, shouting out Corey Vasquez for Brookline. So if you just want to say go Brookline or go Lincoln-Sudbury or go a particular player, perfectly valid reason to post in the live chat. And one fun suggestion I always put out there, because there's plenty of things you can put in the live chat, but one suggestion I always put out, let me know where you're tuning in from. I hear plenty of stories about folks being able to tune into games from out of state, some from out of country. I think I heard a story about someone being able to tune in from the hospital. And, I love those stories. I love hearing about, how this, little thing that I do, mostly just because I love doing it, because I love sports and I love getting to talk about them. But I love getting to hear how it, helps people, get to watch the game and support their loved ones, Always just makes me feel good. So you can see Lincoln-Sudbury warming up, getting ready for the top of the first inning. Liam Gregg warming up on the mound. Due up in the top of the first for Brookline will be Hugh Bollinger, James Skeffington, and Michael Doherty. All right, the pre-inning warm-up throws just about finished. There's the last throw down to second, and we're about ready to get this one underway. Looks like the officials are meeting with the coaches prior to the game. We got another comment in the live chat from Luke McKitka. Says Andover should be here. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Luke is a member of the Andover team. You know, like I said before, the Andover lost to Brookline in the semifinals 6-4 off a last inning comeback from Brookline. But honestly, you know, both teams I think should hold their head high after a game like that. That was a spectacular game. Andover came up with a bunch of clutch defensive stands to strand runners on the bases, you know, really pushing Brookline to the brink. And it really took a spectacular effort in the last inning on their part in order to advance. So that would be my response to that. You know, both teams played a great game, and, you know, unfortunately someone had to lose. And we got another shout out of Brookline's Corey Vasquez, this time from Jeanette Vasquez in the live chat. Of course, Corey Vasquez, one of the big heroes for Brookline yesterday in the semifinals, as he knocked in the go-ahead hit, driving in Doherty on a single through the left gap. It was a thrilling rally, that seventh inning rally for Brookline. James Skeffington led it off with a double to right center, the first extra base hit from either side that day. Michael Doherty followed up with a single to put runners at the corners. Jackson Fantuzzi sent one through the left gap to bring in Skeffington and tie the game. And then Vasquez sent another one through the left gap, and Doherty hustled around third to come in and score the go-ahead run. But that was yesterday, and today is today, and today is the championship game. The officials look just about ready to get things underway. Batters coming to the plate, and we're ready to get this championship game started. Top of the first inning, leading off for Brookline, the extra hitter, number 50, Hugh Bollinger. Some more discussion with the officials, I guess, for whatever reason. But okay, we're settled in. Here we go. We're ready for the first pitch of the ball game. Greg winds and fires. Comes in low, ball one. That one misses as well, ball two. Shows bunt, pulls back, and that's in there for a strike. This one skips in the dirt, ball three. You know, one of those things that's really nice about these lower levels of baseball is compared to things like the pros. The pitchers, they just get the ball and boom, right to the pitch. There's like maybe 5 seconds between pitches at this level, unless you got something like that where it was in the dirt and they had to exchange. 3-1 pitch. And that's a grounder off the bat of Bollinger. Dies on the grass, picked up by shortstop, thrown to first. A 6-3 ground out to start the ball game. Textbook fielding from Jackson Hornbeck for the 6-3 ground out. And interesting to see how quickly that high bouncing ball died on the grass. Seems like they got some thick infield grass here in Needham. That could play a factor as the game goes on. First pitch, James Skeffington pops it up. It's going to stay in the infield, and Hornbeck calls for it. A one-pitch pop out. And just like that, 2 down for Brookline here in the top of the first. Now coming up, the pitcher, number 8, Michael Doherty. First pitch outside, ball 1. That one also misses outside, ball 2. Makes contact, and this is good contact into left center for a clean single. Doherty reached base safely all 4 plate appearances yesterday in the semifinals, although a couple of them, I would say at least one would probably be scored as a reach on error, possibly 2 of them. But anyway, coming up to the plate for Brookline, runner at first, 2 down. It is the catcher, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi. Doherty takes off, hit and run, right back to the pitcher, and he caught it in the air. Liam Gregg ending the top of the first in style with a shoestring catch on a comebacker. Brookline strands 1 in the top of the first. No score as we head to the bottom of the first inning here at Memorial Field. All 3 umpires gathering at the mound. Looks like they're checking out the state of it for whatever reason. Due up for Lincoln-Sudbury will be Anthony Sacco, Ben Clarkin, and Ben Nelson. Michael Doherty taking the hill for Brookline today. He came in and got the save for Brookline yesterday in the semifinals. Took over on the mound for the starter. No, not for the starter. He actually took over for a different reliever in Fantuzzi. And while he gave up a walk to load the bases, he induced 3 straight flyouts, none of which advanced the runners, and got the job done. So we'll see what he's able to do as the starting pitcher today. As we await the start of the bottom of the first inning. All right, there's the last of the warm-up throws And now we begin the bottom of the first inning. Michael Doherty on the hill for Brookline. Leading off at the plate for Lincoln-Sudbury, the second baseman, number 88, Anthony Sacco. First pitch. That one misses, ball one. You know, it's kind of neat seeing such a rare jersey number for baseball like 88, as that one is in there for strike one. I mean, the only guy I can ever think of as a baseball player who wore number 88 is Albert Bell. Swung on and missed. Strike two. I mean, I'm sure there's others, and, you know, feel free to post your own recollections of baseball players wearing number 88 in the live chat, as that one's going to miss outside for ball two. Fouled off, and Sacco stays alive at 2-2. Chases it high, strike three. That to me feels like Sacco was taking the swing at everything, you know, defensive approach that you take when there's two strikes, and just got a little too, you know, overzealous about it. And as a result, that'll be the first out. First pitch in there for strike one to the Lincoln-Sudbury center fielder, number 50, Ben Clarkin. It's a dribbler foul up the third base side, strike two. And swings and whiffs, strike three. Doherty off to a great start here in the bottom of the first with back-to-back strikeouts. Now with two down and the base is empty, up comes the left fielder, number 4, Ben Nelson. Swung on and missed, strike one. That one catches the inside corner, strike two. That one misses, low and away, ball one. And gets him swinging, strike three. Michael Doherty starts off the day by striking out the side. We are through one and scoreless here in the 2022 Lou Tompkins All-Star League 13 and under division championship game here at Memorial Field in Needham, Massachusetts. As we get ready for the top of the second inning, due up for Brookline will be the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Vasquez, Gamau, and Hoffman. You know, watching that early, Doherty has some surprisingly good placement on his pitches for this level. I mean, the way he was working that ball around the zone in that last strikeout, I mean, going low and outside, then going chest height. I mean, that's what you see at the high school level. That's just textbook of what they do when they've got two strikes. You know, they try and get him to chase to the outside, and they try and get him to chase high. You know, and he was placing those pretty pinpoint. I mean, yes, the one outside missed, but he had, you know, a number of balls to give on that count. And frankly, you know, I don't know that too many people would have, you know, I don't think anybody would have come down too hard on Nelson if he ended up chasing that one. It was a good eye for Nelson that he didn't swing. So both pitchers off to solid starts. No score in the first inning. Now Liam Gregg retakes the mound for Lincoln-Sudbury here in the top of the second. Leading off for Brookline, the second baseman, number 1, Corey Vasquez. First pitch is fouled off for strike 1. And that one almost hits him, but he employs some evasive maneuvers and takes ball 1. Swung on and missed. The curveball drops off the table on the pitch from Gregg, and he gets strike 2. And gets him chasing high for strike 3. Vasquez down on strikes. Now coming up for Brookline, the third baseman, number 41, Thaddeus Gamau. That one in there, strike 1. 1-1, now the count to Gamau. This one is fouled off for strike 2. Ooh, that one was just inside, very close. That one, though, in the zone. You know, I emphasized the placement when talking about Doherty, but now, after back-to-back strikeouts, I'm going to talk about the movement on the pitches from Liam Gregg, as he is producing some very effective curveballs early in this one. That one dips low for ball 1. At the plate for Brookline is the first baseman, number 23, Eli Hoffman. Hoffman gets a piece of it, but fouls it off for strike 1. And you could tell, even on that one, as he got a piece of it, it dipped lower than I think he was initially expecting, as that one also dips low for ball 2. A lot of low dipping curves with this at bat on the pitches from Gregg, as that one's a fastball low for ball 3. 3-1, the count to Hoffman. Trying to battle with 2 down and the base is empty. And he takes high ball 4. Second straight inning where a runner has gotten on base with 2 down. Now at the plate for Brookline, the center fielder, number 2, Trig Driscoll. 2 down runner at first. Hoffman takes off. High ball 1. Throw down to second. They got him. No, they missed the tag. It was a great throw, a great read by the Lincoln-Sudbury defense, going for the high pitch to make it an easier throw down to second for the catcher, Luke Danielson. Now this next pitch is low to Driscoll for ball 2. But the throw just, I guess, slightly off the mark, and Hoffman employing a crafty slide around the tag. This one fouled off by Driscoll. That'll be strike 1. Two and one the count. 2 down. Runner at second. That one comes in high and inside. Ball 3. That one catches the zone. Strike 2. Full count to Driscoll. Gregg checks the runner. Payoff pitch. And it's fouled off. Driscoll stays alive. Brief timeout called. Now they reset. Catches him chasing high. Strike 3. Liam Gregg says, I can strike out the side as well. 3 down on strikes in the top of the second. I know it's early to say, but watch out, folks. We might have a pitcher's duel in this one today. Due up for Lincoln-Sudbury in the bottom of the second will be the 4, 5, 6 hitters, Gregg, Danielson, and Pazak. Now, for those of you who have followed some of my other streams, you know I also covered the 18U semifinal between Brookline and Waltham late last night. And now that was a pitcher's duel. Brookline's Jake Levin and Waltham's Drew Anderson put on an absolute show. Ultimately, someone had to lose, and Levin let in 1 run on a wild pitch, and that would be the only score of the day. 1-0 was the final score. Anderson was nothing short of dominant. 18 strikeouts in 6 2/3 innings pitched, while Levin, maybe not racking up the same number of strikeouts, but matching him blow for blow, inning for inning, outside of that 1 run given up. A thrilling pitcher's duel, and we'll see what today's pitchers will be able to do here in the 13 and under finals. Leading off for Lincoln-Sudbury, it's going to be their pitcher, number 15, Liam Gregg. First pitch from Doherty is high for ball 1. Doherty, the Brookline pitcher, the only one with a base hit so far. But now his counterpart in Gregg is at the plate. It'll be interesting to see this matchup. 1-1, the count to Gregg. That one comes in low, ball 2. That one catches the inside corner, strike 2. 2-2 the count. And he hits a grounder over to third, picked up by Gamau, thrown to first, snagged by Hoffman, but his foot came off the bag. Liam Gregg reaches on what I think would be scored as an E5 as the first baseman's foot just barely came off the bag there. First pitch swung on and missed for strike one. At the plate for Lincoln-Sudbury here is the catcher, number 3, Luke Danielson. And they go for a pickoff, but Greg goes back. That one comes in low. Oh, no, it hit him. He hits Danielson, and that's 2 runners on for Lincoln-Sudbury. It's now 2 on base with nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Coming up to the plate, the right fielder, number 27, Matthew Pazak. First pitch catches the low corner, strike one. This one is launched into right center, and it's going to drop. This will go for at least 1, possibly for 2. Oh, he couldn't see the runner going back. It's just going to be... Looks like he just loaded the bases on a very long single. Oh, no, wait, did they get the force at second? Oh, my gosh, I got so confused there. The runner was out at second on the force. I got so confused on that one, but the situation is first and third. Score that as an 8-6 fielder's choice. And a throw back to first to check on Pazak. Now at the plate for Lincoln-Sudbury is the extra hitter, number 13, Tyler DeMichelle. First pitch in there, strike one. Runner taking off for second, pitches in low, throw to the pitcher, as they're just going to let Pazak take second there. Second and third now with 1 out. As that one's going to miss outside, ball 2. This one is high, ball 3. That pitch in there, strike 2. A full count to DeMichelle. And he gets a piece of it and stays alive with a full count. Chopped again. DeMichelle continues to battle. That one low, ball 4. DeMichelle, the good eye there to load the bases on a walk. Bases now juiced with 1 out. Up comes the first baseman, number 5, Armon Gordon. First pitch comes in low for ball 1. Doherty's had a lot more trouble finding the strike zone this inning than he did in the first. That one catches the inside corner, though, strike 1. That one in for strike 2. And he launches it out to right. Cho is tracking it. Got it for the out. Throwing back into the infield. Play at the plate. They lost the throw. Runner comes in on the sac fly. Brookline made that very close to an inning-ending double play. But the relay throw just didn't come in cleanly and was too hard for Fantuzzi to collect. And now Fantuzzi looking a little shaken up as Greg slid in hard for that first run. Certainly hope he's okay. Fantuzzi, I know, got a little shaken up at that catcher position in yesterday's game as well. But it looks like he is shaking this one off. It looks like he's going to stick it out. So Lincoln-Sudbury, the first on the board off the sac fly by Tyler, no, not by Tyler DeMichelle, by Armand Gordon. Gordon with the RBI sac fly to right. And now coming up to the plate for Lincoln-Sudbury, the third baseman, number 45, Drew Blanchette. They've got Pazak at third and DeMichelle at second. I think Brookline tried to throw back to third to try and see if they could get a call that Greg hadn't properly tagged up. But it's rare you're going to get those calls, as that first pitch to Blanchette is in there for strike 1. This one fouled off, strike 2. And a timeout called as Doherty steps off the rubber. This pitch comes in high, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Doherty limits the damage, but Lincoln-Sudbury does get on the board. At the end of 2, the score, Lincoln-Sudbury 1, Brookline 0. And that was just such a zany inning. You know, let me just recap really quick all the craziness that happened. Liam Gregg led off and hit a grounder to third that looked like it was going to be a simple 5-3 ground out. But then the Brookline first baseman, just barely his foot came off the bag, and so Gregg was able to reach safely. After that, Luke Danielson was hit by a pitch that put runners at first and second. And then Anthony Pazak hit what looked like it was going to be at least a single, if not a double. But what happened was that Danielson hesitated going down to second because the outfielders drew close. And so Danielson was late getting to second, and a quick throw down to second got the force out. And so Danielson was out at second, while Gregg was safe at third and Pazak was safe at first with a very long single. Pazak stole second, and Tyler DeMichelle drew a hard-fought walk to load the bases. And then it was Armand Gordon who hit a sac fly to right. Brookline almost executed the cutoff throw. Seemed like they might get in time to catch Gregg for an inning-ending double play, but the throw home was not clean, and so the run came in. After that, a strikeout ended the inning. So 1-0, we head to the top of the third. It'll be the 9-10 one hitters for Brookline, Miller, Cho, and Bollinger. First pitch in there for strike one. At the plate for Brookline is the left fielder, number 22, Q Miller. Miller fouls this one off, strike two. And that one fools him on the curve, strike three. Boy, as a pitcher, when you see a guy jump back in the box as if he's about to get hit and then the ball lands in the strike zone, I can't even imagine how satisfying that must be. Mostly because I couldn't pitch nearly this well, either when I was 13 or now. Just not happening. At the plate for Brookline with one out, the right fielder, number 16, Ginny Cho. That one is in there for strike one. Swung on and missed, strike two. That one catches the zone, strike three. That is 5 strikeouts on the day so far for Liam Gregg. And now we cycle back around to the top of the order for Brookline with the extra hitter, number 50, Hugh Bollinger. First pitch is going to miss outside, ball one. And honestly, this has kind of defined part of the problem for Brookline is they've gotten a runner on base in each of the past 2 innings, but it's always been with 2 down. And, you know, getting to first base with 2 down is just so different on so many levels from getting to first with nobody out, as that one doesn't quite curve in enough, ball two. As we just saw with the bottom of the second, you know, Lincoln-Sudbury got a leadoff runner on. And it took a lot, but they got a runner in. 3-0 the count. And that one in there, strike one. That one's going to miss. Bollinger sprinting down to first as the pitch got away from the catcher. Just trying to see if he could catch the Lincoln-Sudbury defense sleeping. But it's just going to be a very simple walk. Runner at first, 2 down. Now up for Brookline, the shortstop, number 12, James Skeffington. Skeffington 0 for 1 today. He popped out to short on the first pitch his last time up. Bollinger takes off, pitch in for a strike, throw down to second, off the mark, an easy steal for Bollinger. Oh and 1 the count to Skeffington. Brookline's got a runner on second now. And that one's in there for strike two. Swung on and missed, strike three. Six strikeouts over the last 2 innings for Liam Gregg as he continues to keep Brookline off the board. Going into the bottom of the third, the score, Lincoln-Sudbury 1, Brookline 0. Due up for Lincoln-Sudbury will be the 10-1-2 hitters, Hornbeck, Sacco, and Clarkin. All right, here we go. Start of the bottom of the third inning. Leading off for Lincoln-Sudbury, the shortstop, number 23, Jackson Hornbeck. Hornbeck, the last of the starting hitters for either side to get his first plate appearance, and the first pitch is a check swing foul. Doherty back on the hill for Brookline. After a tough second inning, ended with 1 run in. That pitch is going to come in low for ball 1. That one catches the zone for strike 2. And I apologize for the obstructed view of the batter. You know, sometimes that just happens depending on where the first base coach decides to stand. As this one sails high for ball 2. That one's going to miss inside, ball 3. Full count to Hornbeck. In there, strike 3. Looks like Hornbeck didn't like the call there, thought he got ball 4. But ultimately, that is the ump's decision. 1 down here in the bottom of the third. We cycle back to the top of the Lincoln-Sudbury order with the second baseman, number 88, Anthony Sacco. First pitch, low and inside for ball 1. Reaches out and fouls this one off, and that's going to go out of play. That'll be strike 1. And that one's a high pitch that he's caught chasing, strike 2. He struck out on a similar pitch his last time up. He's got to be careful not to chase pitches too high, as this one comes in the dirt for ball 2. I mean, Sacco has a relatively smaller strike zone, and if he can take advantage of that, he can be very effective at getting on base, but he can't be chasing those high ones. 2-2 the count, and he pops it high, and Doherty's going to take it himself for out number 2. Now at the plate for Lincoln-Sudbury, the center fielder, number 50, Ben Clarkin. First pitch catches the zone for strike 1. Clarkin almost on the exact opposite end of the spectrum in terms of size of strike zone when compared to his teammate Sacco. And he launches this one out to left. Miller misread it, and it's going over his head. This is going to go for extra bases. A 2-out double by Clarkin. Q Miller out and left for Brookline kind of misread the trajectory of that one, as his initial move was to charge in, then realized it was going farther and chased back and wasn't able to catch up to it. That's one of the toughest things for outfielders. Is sometimes, you know, when the ball starts flying your way, it's like, okay, do I go in or do I go back? And that split-second decision can end up biting you. First pitch in there, strike 1. At the plate for Lincoln-Sudbury, the left fielder, number 4, Ben Nelson. Good contact out to left, and that one is fair, and this will go for extra bases as well. Clarkin comes in on an RBI double by Ben Nelson. Still 2 down, runner at second. Now up comes the pitcher, number 15, Liam Gregg. First pitch in there, strike one. And he chases that one high, strike two. And that pitch comes in high for ball one. This one comes in low for ball two. Fouled off. Gregg stays alive at 2-2. Gregg, of course, his last time up, he reached on an E5 and later came in to score. And he went around on that one, couldn't check his swing, and that'll be strike three. So again, Doherty able to limit the damage to 1 run. But Lincoln-Sudbury slowly building a lead here. Through 3 innings, the score, Lincoln-Sudbury 2, Brookline 0. Due up in the top of the 4th for Brookline will be the 3, 4, 5 hitters, Doherty, Fantuzzi, and Vasquez. Once again, if you are enjoying this broadcast, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming sports live streams. And if you've got anything to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat. If there are any names I'm mispronouncing, or if you're noticing any technical difficulties, anything like that, but also just any fun things you want to say. You know, you want to say, let's go Brookline, let's go Lincoln-Sudbury. You want to root for your favorite player, you know, shout anybody out, things like that. And also, if you're tuning in from far away, feel free to let us know where you're tuning in from. Liam Gregg back on the hill for Lincoln-Sudbury. He's got 3 shutout innings under his belt so far and 6 strikeouts on top of it. In the first inning, every single batter he faced got their bat on the ball. But since then, it's been 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. Leading off for Brookline, the pitcher, number 8, Michael Doherty. First pitch came in low, ball 1. Doherty cracks it out to center. It's being tracked and caught by Clarkin for out number 1. Doherty, the first Brookline hitter to put the ball in play since the first inning. Also, his first inning single is presently the only hit the Brookline offense has recorded so far today. Now at the plate, the catcher, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi. First pitch curves in for strike 1. That curveball from Gregg has been very effective today. As that one curves in as well, strike 2. Excuse me there. That was ball 1, and now that's a high ball 2. And that one's going to miss for ball 3. Looked like Fantuzzi was going to try and call for a timeout there, but didn't get his hand up in time and ended up working out for him. He's now got a full count. Makes contact. It's a dribbler over to short, picked up by Hornbeck, thrown to first, and that's going to be out number 2. Now at the plate for Brookline, the second baseman, number 1, Corey Vasquez. This pitch comes in high, 1-1 now the count. And that one doesn't quite curve in enough, and that's going to be ball 2. That one catches the zone, strike 2. 2-2 now the count. Swung on, and no, he got a piece of it. Vasquez just barely stays alive on that one. 2-2, still the count. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Greg puts him down in order for the first time today and continues his shutout performance. He is now officially the pitcher on credit for the win as a starting pitcher that has lasted 4 innings. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Due up for Lincoln-Sudbury will be Danielson, Pazak, and DiMichele. We got a note in the live chat. Looks like someone's letting us know where they're tuning in from. From Linda Miller. It appears they're tuning in from Tipton, Iowa. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen someone in my live chat tuned in from Iowa. That's cool. Thank you for letting us know, Linda. Doherty returns to the hill for Brookline. And honestly, he's been doing a very solid job so far. I mean, 2 runs, only one of them earned through 3 innings of work so far. That's a very solid outing. But again, just like the Brookline 18U pitcher last night, Jake Levin, it's a good outing, but when your opponent is pitching a shutout, you know, that's just really hard to compete with. The Brookline offense has 3 innings left to try and make something happen. But for now, the defense has to keep doing its job. Leading off for Lincoln-Sudbury here in the bottom of the 4th, it is the catcher, number 3, Luke Danielson. First pitch comes in high, ball 1. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Danielson reached on a hit by pitch his last time up, but was thrown out at second in the rarest of rare 8-6 fielder's choice. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Fouls this one off and stays alive. That one's going to miss, ball 2. Hard crack there, and that's going to get past the first baseman into right. A leadoff single for Danielson. A leadoff single down the first base line, and now with a runner at first and nobody out, up comes the right fielder, number 27, Matthew Pazak. Swings and misses on the first pitch, strike 1. And a pickoff move, unsuccessful. Doherty, of course, a southpaw, which means you've really got to watch out for those pickoff moves if you're on first. Swung on and missed there, strike 2. Pazak, his last time up, hit what should have been a single to right center, but instead ended up being an 8-6 fielder's choice as he swings and misses there for strike 3. One down. Now coming up, the extra hitter, number 13, Tyler DeMichelle. First pitch misses inside, ball 1. DeMichelle earned a hard-fought walk his last time at the plate, as that one is in there for strike 1. DeMichelle fouled off a couple of 2-strike pitches, battled to a full count and drew ball 4. As this one's in the dirt, Fantuzzi juggles it, and Danielson is going to get the successful steal of second. That one just got away from Fantuzzi in the dirt there. And now a runner in scoring position. That one's going to miss as well. 3 and I believe 3 and 1 is the count. I might have misjudged one of the pitches or something, but either way, it's a grounder up the first baseline, juggled by Hoffman, race to the bag, and he gets there. The ground out does move the runner to third. And now coming up with a runner at third and 2 down, it is the first baseman, number 5, Armon Gordon. First pitch is in low and gets away from the catcher. Runner comes home. The run scores on the wild pitch. And Lincoln-Sudbury, its 3rd straight inning with a run. They haven't had any explosive innings, but they've been consistently building their lead. As this one is going to miss for ball 2. Hard crack of the bat there, and that's going to go into center. It's going to go into the gap, and Gordon is going to hold at first with a very long single. 2 down and a runner at first. Now coming up, the third baseman, number 45, Drew Blanchette. First pitch is in low for ball 1. Blanchette, last time up, struck out to end the second. And gets a piece of that one for strike 1. And this one is lifted into right. And Cho couldn't haul it in. Gordon is taking off for third. And Blanchette reaches on the E9. Lincoln-Sudbury starting to rally here with 2 down. Now runners at the corners, and coming up is the shortstop, number 23, Jackson Hornbeck. Runner started to take off for second, hesitated. It's a pop-up to second, and it's caught by Vasquez for out number 3. So the error doesn't cost him anything, but Brookline does let up another run. Through 4. The score here at the 2022 Lou Tompkins 13 and under championship game. Lincoln-Sudbury 3, Brookline 0. Now here at this 4th intermission, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to talk to you about the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner, supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. To date, 75 BHS students have received scholarships from this fund to help them as they build their futures. Your support is crucial to supporting Brookline youth as they embark on the next steps in their educational journeys. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund and many of the other great grant programs from the Brookline Community Foundation. Find out how you can make a difference right here in Brookline. And as always, you can find all the information you need about our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation, in the description section of the video down below. Greg back on the hill for his 5th inning of work for Lincoln-Sudbury. Pitching a shutout so far. Leading off for Brookline, the third baseman, number 41, Thaddeus Gamau. First pitch swung on and missed, strike 1. Gamau went down on strikes his last time up. And he takes strike 2 there. And that one catches the corner, strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. 1 down in the inning. And now up comes the first baseman, number 23, Eli Hoffman. First pitch comes in low for ball 1. Next one high for ball 2. And that one misses outside, ball 3. Shows bunt, pulls back, takes strike one. Interesting strategy, squaring up to bunt with a 3-0 count. Squares up again, pulls back, and hits the zone again, strike two. Full count now. And that one misses, ball four. Hoffman draws the one-out walk, the first Brookline batter to reach base with less than 2 outs in the inning. At the plate now, the center fielder, number 2, Trig Driscoll. Shows bunt, pulls back, high ball one. Shows bunt, whiffs on it, strike one. One and one the count. He lays down the bunt this time, up the third base line, picked up by the pitcher, thrown, just beats out Driscoll. Hoffman taking off for third, no one's covering, and the throw gets away. Hoffman's going to come all the way around. Unbelievable. Brookline gets its first run on the board in the most zany of fashions. Score that a run on an E3. And now, finally, Brookline on the board. They trail Lincoln-Sudbury 3-1. 2 down, bases empty. At the plate is the left fielder, number 22, Q Miller, as he takes low ball 2. That pitch also misses inside, ball 3. Greg starting to struggle hitting the zone. That one catches the zone, however, strike one. And late swing there, goes foul up the first base line, strike two. Full count, 2 out, bases empty. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Greg battles back from 3-0 to get another strikeout to end the top of the 5th. But the shutout is over. Eli Hoffman comes in to score on an E3. And Brookline is now on the board. Going into the bottom of the 5th, Lincoln-Sudbury 3, Brookline 1. Due up will be the top of the order for Lincoln-Sudbury, Sacco, Clarkin, and Nelson. Just going to do a quick count here for the number of strikeouts for Liam Gregg here so far. 9 strikeouts so far for the Lincoln-Sudbury starter. And for Brookline, their starter is done for the day. Taking over on the mound for Brookline will be number 1, Corey Vasquez. Doherty is going to move to first base. And then Eli Hoffman will move from first base to center field, and Trig Driscoll will move from center field to second base. Doherty finishes having thrown 4 innings, giving up 3 runs, 2 of them earned. And currently he is the pitcher on credit for the loss if there are no lead changes the rest of the way. And again, it's tough. This was not a bad pitching outing for Doherty. You know, the pitcher across from him just has had a very good game, and that just adds the pressure on his side of things. So now Vasquez will take over and try and keep the deficit manageable here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Coming up to the plate for Lincoln-Sudbury, the second baseman, number 88, Anthony Sacco. Shows bunt, pulls back, strike 1. And that pitch comes in high, well high for ball 1. You wonder if maybe Vasquez got thrown off by some loud honking car horns off in the distance. 1-1 the count. Next pitch is going to miss, ball 2. This one skips in the dirt, ball 3. Next pitch in there, strike 2. Full count now to Sacco. Reaches out, hits a grounder past the pitcher, over to short, picked up by Skeffington, throw to first, not in time, it is in time. I thought he might have reached, but just barely out on the 6-3. Bullet of a throw from James Skeffington. Brief pause as Jackson Fantuzzi, now playing third, had to redo his laces. This pitch to Clarkin is in for strike 1. This one, hard contact into left. Another base hit for Ben Clarkin. Now, of course, Larkin and Nelson hit back-to-back doubles to drive in Lincoln-Sudbury's second run back in the 3rd. Now Nelson at the plate with Clarkin on first. 1 out. Clarkin takes off for second. Pitches in for a strike. Gamau juggled, collecting the ball for the throw, and so he could not get it off in time. Clarkin successful on the steal. Reaches out, hits a grounder over to third. Fantuzzi tries to hold the runner, gets the throw in there in time for the 5-3 ground out. Fantuzzi didn't make things easy on himself, but putting in that little extra effort kept the runner from advancing. And so it'll still be a runner at second with 2 down now. And up comes the pitcher, number 15, Liam Gregg. Clarkin dancing off from second. First pitch to Gregg is in there for strike 1. And that one misses, ball 1. And he sliced this one. It might stay in play. Gamau chasing, and he's got the catch for out number 3. That ends the bottom of the 5th inning. Brookline manages to keep Lincoln-Sudbury off the board for the first time since the first inning. But they still trail as Lincoln-Sudbury leads 3-1. Due up for Brookline will be the 10-1 two-hitters Cho, Bollinger, and Skeffington. For any of you looking at the live chat, you see a comment from Donnell O'Neill saying, "Kid yesterday had 18 strikeouts." What he's referring to is the 18U team. That was the 18U semifinals last night between Brookline and Waltham. The Waltham pitcher, Drew Anderson, got the win with 18 total strikeouts in a very dominant pitching performance, as he pitched 6 2/3 shutout innings to earn the win, as Waltham edged out Brookline 1-0. Waltham will be facing Medford in the 18U finals later today at this very same field. I won't be covering that game. I wasn't hired by either of those teams. But a strong performance from Anderson for Waltham in that game. And now back on the mound, another guy who's had a strong performance on the mound today, and that is Lincoln-Sudbury's Liam Gregg. 1 unearned run allowed through 5 innings of work so far. There was some action going in the Lincoln-Sudbury bullpen, as it is getting into that late stage of the game. So we'll see what happens there. Obviously, you got pitch counts to worry about and all that. But for right now, all Gregg has to worry about is the batter in front of him, the Brookline right fielder, number 16, Ginny Cho. First pitch in there for strike 1. Squares up to bunt, lays up the bunt, juggled, throw misses completely. Cho is going to take off for second. They call dead ball. Ginny Cho laid down the bunt well. And just like that, Brookline has a runner in scoring position, and you can hear their dugout going crazy as they're trying to build some energy here late in the game. Now at the plate, as this pitch gets away, it's a wild pitch. Cho is going down to third. At the plate for Brookline is the extra hitter, number 50, Hugh Bollinger. And now we've got a meeting at the mound as they try and settle down their pitcher following back-to-back bad throws. First the bad throw to first, and then the bad pitch to the plate. Cho has gotten 2 free bases off of those. You can argue borderline, was it a bunt single? Did she only reach because Greg bobbled the ball when he was picking it up? Yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. Whether or not that was a single or a reach on error, the throwing error and the wild pitch are the reason she's on third instead of first. And so that's why the Lincoln-Sudbury coach comes out to try and settle down his pitcher. Bollinger back into the box. Pitch comes in low for ball 2. Squares up to bunt, pulls back, and that's going to be ball 3. A 3-0 count to Bollinger. Squares up to bunt again, pulls back again, wild pitch! But Cho decides to hold on this one as Bollinger is going to run down to first with the free pass. The tying run now on first for Brookline as they're trying to make something happen. Stepping up to the plate now, the shortstop, number 12, James Skeffington. Skeffington 0 for 2 so far today. Of course, he sparked that 7th inning rally for Brookline against Andover yesterday. Can he spark something here? Bollinger takes off. Pitches in for a strike. They actually throw down to second, and it gets away! All the way into center field. Cho is coming home. Bollinger down to third. Oh my gosh! Disaster for Lincoln-Sudbury. Bollinger gets the steal of second, and he goes to third on the throwing error. Cho scores on the throwing error. Pitch to Skeffington. In there. Strike 2. This pitch, that was also a strike. So the first pitch, I thought it was a strike. It was actually a ball. So this is a 1-2 count now to Skeffington. My mistake there. Tying run at third for Brookline. A ball in play could tie this. Hits him! And Skeffington pumped as he runs down to first on the free pass. After getting pegged on that one, you could hear that one hitting his body, but he doesn't look hurt in the slightest, as he was throwing fist pumps as he jogged down to first. Coaches are going to come and look at him, just to be extra safe. But I cannot believe Brookline is doing this again. Another late rally after struggling to get runs on the board all game. First and third, nobody out here in the top of the 6th. Tying run at third, go-ahead run at first. The meat of the order coming up. This is playoff baseball, everybody. Seems to be an officials' conference. Wait, they just called Skeffington out! What? Wait, why is he out? What are they saying? What on earth? Meanwhile, it looks like Lincoln-Sudbury is making a pitching change, which is why you hear applause from the Lincoln-Sudbury fans. They're not applauding Skeffington being called out. They're applauding Greg as he steps off the mound. Still a whole bunch of discussion going on. I am so thoroughly confused. I guess in the meantime, while they discuss this, I'm going to at least mention the new Lincoln-Sudbury pitcher. This is number 50, Ben Clarkin, taking over for Liam Gregg. Okay, I just asked somebody, and folks, buckle up for this one. So you know how I said that I thought that it was 0-2, but then I thought I miscalled a strike as a ball. It turns out that now the ump is saying that he lost track of the count and that Skeffington should have been out on strikes on the pitch before he got hit. And they're trying to figure out what happens here, because if that's the case, it's an officiating mistake. What's the exact ruling? I think they're talking to someone from the league to try and figure this out. This game is insane. Once again, this is playoff baseball, everybody. And this could be a huge difference. At the very least, this long pause is a good way to kill Brookline's momentum. And no matter which call this one's going to go, if it goes against the team that ultimately loses this game, then folks are going to be talking about this one. I mean, listen, I've said my own personal philosophy on this several times on several different streams. My ultimate philosophy is, you got to respect the officials. They do a hard, thankless job for not very much money, and there's a national shortage. These guys will walk if we don't respect them. And if they walk, then we can't have these games, and that's just a travesty if that happens. But man, this one is a doozy of a situation. And I mean, it's one of those things where I don't know what the rule is. Can you go back and say no, I called 3 strikes, but I called strike 2 twice? What do you do? This is something where you really gotta, this is something where you really gotta just, I don't know, reach into the rule books or something. Anyone got one of those little rule booklets? Conference breaking up. And Skeffington gets to stay at first. Or it looks like, based on fan reactions, that Skeffington is going to stay at first after that. absolutely insane. So the situation is first and third, nobody out. Brookline trails Lincoln-Sudbury by 1. At the plate, the first baseman, number 8, Michael Doherty. First pitch, catches the corner, strike 1. Skeffington takes second, unopposed. Pitch, Doherty launches it. This is in foul territory in right, and the right fielder's not going to get it. So that's a quick 0-2 count to Doherty. Second and third, nobody out. 0-2 the count. Infield pulled in. That pitch is going to miss outside for ball 1. That pitch also going to miss, ball 2. 2-2 the count. Tying run at third. Go-ahead run at second. And that pitch misses, and it gets away. This game is tied. Bollinger scores the equalizer on the wild pitch. We are all squared. Can you believe it? The go-ahead run now at third. Still no outs in the inning. A full count to Doherty. Clarkin sets, payoff pitch, and Doherty fouls it off to stay alive. Full count, nobody out. Go-ahead run at third. Doherty connects out to right. It's fair, past the right fielder. Brookline's got the lead. Skeffington comes in. Doherty down to second. He's going to go for 3. Throw down to third. He slides in. Gets away from the third baseman. Doherty taking off for home. It's out of play. Doherty's going all the way around. Michael Doherty, the go-ahead RBI triple, and then scoring on the throwing error. Unbelievable. Now the first pitch to Fantuzzi misses high for ball 1. Fantuzzi launches it high into shallow right, and Pazak races in and gets the ball for out number 1. Brookline now with a 2-run lead after trailing for almost the entire game. Now Vasquez, the relief pitcher, at the plate as he takes ball 1. Vasquez, all of a sudden, the pitcher on credit for the win as he fouls that one off for strike 1, as he is the pitcher on credit as his team takes the lead. Hits a grounder, fielded well by Clarkin, and he's going to underhand it to first for out number 2. Now coming up to the plate, the catcher, number 41, Thaddeus Gamau. First pitch going to miss, ball 1. Now that like the bases are empty and it feels like the game has settled down, it's so hard to come down from the high that this inning has been, as that one catches the high corner for strike one. That one's going to miss low for ball two. And this one's sliced. It's within the field of play, and it's chased down by Gordon at first for out number 3. The inning ends, but Brookline with another insane comeback effort. They were down 3-1 to start that inning. And now they lead Lincoln-Sudbury going into the bottom of the 6th, 5-3. Vasquez returning to the hill for Brookline for his second inning of relief. Due up for Lincoln-Sudbury is going to be Danielson, Pazak, and DeMichelle. Let's just recap that insane top of the 6th inning. The batter at the very bottom of Brookline's lineup got this insanity started. Ginny Cho laid down a very good bunt and might have been able to leg out a bunt single. It's hard to say because a throwing error by the pitcher allowed her to not only take first, but then take second. And then a wild pitch sent her to third. Hugh Bollinger managed to draw a 4-pitch walk, putting runners at the corners. Bollinger took off for second, and the catcher threw for second, or I'm not sure what the plan was because it seemed like the defense just miscommunicated there as the catcher's throw sailed past everybody. It just sort of bounced past people that seemed like they weren't expecting the throw. It went into center field. Bollinger went from second to third, and Cho came in to score, making it a 3-2 ball game and putting the tying run at third. Then James Skeffington came up, and that's where the inning got absolutely insane. 3 pitches were thrown, and it seems like it might have been that 3 strikes were called, but they called strike 2 twice. I don't know, but then on the 4th pitch of that plate appearance, Skeffington got pegged and got a free pass to first. Then the whole insanity of trying to figure out what the exact ruling there was. Ultimately, they allowed Skeffington to stay at first. Then after that, Michael Doherty launched one out to right, which went for a triple, but then a throwing error down to third allowed him to come home. Absolutely insane. I'm missing some details, but we're starting the bottom half of the inning now, so I'm just going to focus on that. At the plate for Lincoln-Sudbury is number 3, Luke Danielson. Another pitch misses, ball 2. 2-0 the count. This one low, ball 3. The 3-0 pitch misses, and that's a 4-pitch walk to lead off for Danielson. Now coming up to the plate, the right fielder, number 27, Matthew Pazak. We've got a pinch runner coming in now for Danielson. Danielson is the catcher, so they can do that without needing to make any defensive changes. Pinch running now is number 43, Andrew Labagnara. That pitch is going to miss. Ball 1. That pitch catches the high corner. Strike 1. That one catches the corner. Strike 2. This one misses outside. Ball 2. 2-2, the count to Pazak. Labanjara, the pinch runner at first. And he gets jammed and sends a grounder foul up the third base line. Stays alive at 2-2. Vasquez checks the runner at first, turns around for a pickoff attempt, and Labanjara gets back safely. Hits another grounder foul up the third base line. And it looks like Gamau has been put back at third and Fantuzzi back behind the plate. Another pitch fouled off. Pazak refusing to go down easily. Still 2-2. In there, strike 3, caught the low corner. One down here in the bottom of the 6th. Coming to the plate, the extra hitter, number 13, Tyler DeMichelle. First pitch is high, ball 1. Another pickoff attempt, trying to keep the pinch runner honest. One out, runner at first. That one in there, strike 1. A runner is taking off. Ball's in play. Runner has to retreat. It's a pop out to third, and Labanjara retreats back to first. The hit and run does not work out as DeMichelle pops out. 2 down now in the bottom of the 6th. Up comes the first baseman, number 5, Armon Gordon. First pitch, and he chases high for strike 1. Makes contact, and that's going to go into left for a base hit. A 2-out single for Gordon. And now things start to get interesting. The tying runs are on the bases. 2 down. And it's going to be up to the bottom of the order for Lincoln-Sudbury if they want to make things happen this inning. At the plate, the third baseman, number 45, Drew Blanchette. This pitch is going to miss. Ball 1. That pitch is low. Ball 2. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. 2-1 the count. 2 down. Blanchette at the plate. Gordon at first. Labanjara at second. Big crack of the bat. Out to left. Miller can't get it. This will score at least 1. Gordon racing down to third, and he's going to hold at third. A long RBI single for Blanchette. This game is so far from over. Andrew Labanjara, the pinch runner, comes across for run number 4 for Lincoln-Sudbury. Still 2 down. And up comes the shortstop, number 23, Jackson Hornbeck. Vasquez taking a moment to redo his laces and perhaps settle down some of the momentum after such a big swing of the bat from Drew Blanchette. Two down, runners at the corners, tying run at third. First pitch is high for ball 1. That one also just high. Hornbeck wouldn't bite. Ball 2. That one in there. Strike 1. 2-1 the count to Hornbeck. Pitch. That one misses low and away. Ball 3. One more ball would load the bases. This one's fouled off. Strike 2. Full count. 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. 1-run ball game here in the 13 and under championship game. Gordon, the potential tying run at third. Blanchette, the potential go-ahead run at first. Strike 3! A huge payoff pitch there from Corey Vasquez to escape the jam and put an end to the bottom of the 6th inning. We are down to the final inning of regulation. Going into the top of the 7th, the score, Brookline 5, Lincoln-Sudbury 4. Due up for Brookline with their last chance to try and add some insurance runs will be Eli Hoffman, Trig Driscoll, and Q Miller. Well, we're rushing into this top of the 7th. Ben Clarkin back on the mound for Lincoln-Sudbury. Leading off for Brookline is number 23, Eli Hoffman, and he pops it into foul territory. Gordon could not get his glove around that one. That's just going to fall for strike one. Hoffman, the center fielder, he has walked twice so far today. Scored his team's first run. Now hits a hard grounder over to second. Almost a diving catch. It rolls away, and Hoffman reaches. You know, I feel like with the effort that Sacco put there, you really couldn't possibly give him an error. Now at the plate comes the Brookline second baseman, number 2, Trig Driscoll. Throw back to first to check on Hoffman. He dives back safely. Slick move by Clarkin there. But Hoffman might be looking for that now. Oh, they tricked him! They tricked him. Hoffman caught between the bags. We got ourselves a pickle, folks. Hoffman stumbling, can't get away from the tag. The pickoff move works the second time. And just like that, a runner off the bags and an out on the board. Now the first pitch to Driscoll. Strike one. And Driscoll gets a piece of that one, strike two. Boy, can you imagine? You're coming to the plate. It's no outs, runner at first. And before you even face your first pitch, it's 1 out, bases empty. Insane. Reaches low and hits a grounder, fielded over at third, dropped, picked up, thrown to first, not in time. Driscoll reaches on the E5. Third baseman had it in his glove, but then on the transfer from glove to throwing hand, he dropped it. Driscoll leading off from first. Now at the plate, the left fielder, number 22, Q Miller. Throw back to first. Driscoll dives back. Driscoll's got to be careful. One runner has already been picked off this inning. And that pitch in there for a strike, got away from the catcher for a second. But this will be a 0-1 count to Miller. Driscoll takes off. Miller whiffs on the bunt attempt. Throw down to second. Not in time. Driscoll almost couldn't complete his slide. I think his leg might have gotten tangled up with Sacco there. But he gets down there safely. And that'll be an 0-2 count to Miller. And that hit him! Miller was like trying to dodge the pitch, and he ended up dodging into the pitch. This game is absolutely crazy. Yeah, I think Holden Hodgson has had one of my favorite comments of the live chat so far today. Can't make this stuff up. You really can't. Ginny Cho at the plate for Brookline. Shows bunt, pulls back. Ball one. Runners ready to move here. Shows bunt again. Lays it down. Foul. Now, of course, Cho, her last time at the plate, she laid down the bunt successfully, and a throwing error allowed her to go all the way to second and eventually come in to score. Shows bunt again, pulls back. Ball two. Miller at first, Driscoll at second. One down, Cho at the plate facing a 2-1 count. Shows bunt, lays it down. Picked up by the catcher, thrown to first in time for out number 2, but she does advance the runners on the sac bunt. Two in scoring position, but 2 out. We cycle back to the top of the Brookline order. This is number 50 against number 50. Stepping into the box for Brookline, Hugh Bollinger. Bollinger cracks it out to center. Center fielder's under it, and he's got the catch. Gave it a ride, but it was well tracked by Hornbeck. We go now to the bottom of the 7th inning. It all comes down to this. Brookline unable to add an insurance run, so they have no wiggle room here. 3 outs away from a title, but Lincoln-Sudbury just 1 run away from tying this game and extending it, and just 2 runs away from winning it all themselves. I cannot say this enough. This is playoff baseball. It'll be the top of the order due up for Lincoln-Sudbury, Sacco, Clarkin, and Nelson. Looks like Vasquez is going to be back on the mound for Brookline, trying to finish the job here. Here we go. The season comes down to this final frame. Bottom of the 7th, 1-run ball game here in the championship. Vasquez, the first pitch to Sacco, misses low, ball 1. The fans getting crazy out here at Memorial Field in Needham, Massachusetts. Shows bunt, pulls back, low ball 2. Sacco, his last time up, popped out to the pitcher. Shows bunt, pulls back, strike one. That one's going to miss, ball three. And that skips in the dirt, ball four. A leadoff walk puts the tying run on the base paths here in the bottom of the seventh. Now coming up, the pitcher, number 50, Ben Clarkin. Clarkin, his last time up, he got a single to left, and before that he had a double to left. First pitch in there, strike one. Vasquez checks the runner at first. Swung on and missed, strike two. Clarkin with his back to the wall, but we've seen what kind of explosive hitter he can be. Throw back to first to check on Sacco, and he gets back safely. 0-2. Anthony Sacco at first, Ben Clarkin at the plate. Pitch. Misses high, ball one. Swung on and missed, strike three. Huge first out get for Corey Vasquez. Now coming up, number 4, Ben Nelson. First pitch, high and inside, ball one. Nelson grounded out to third his last time up, but before that he got an RBI double to left. Sacco takes off. Strike, throw down to second, couldn't collect it. Hard bounce on the throw, and Skeffington couldn't haul it in. Sacco called time and is trying to walk off the pain of a hard collision with Skeffington at second. This does put the tying run in scoring position. It's a 1-1 count to Nelson. Michael Doherty, the current first baseman and starting pitcher for Brookline, coming to the mound to talk to Vasquez. Lincoln-Sudbury finishes checking on Sacco. Seems like he's okay. That's good. Always root for people to be okay, no matter what team. 1-1 the count to Nelson. Vasquez stares in. Checks the runner. Makes contact. That's a blooper. Gonna drop in left. And Miller struggles to pick it up, and Sacco advances to third on the single. Lincoln-Sudbury starting to rally here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Runners at the corners, one out. And up comes number 15, Liam Gregg. This is prime positioning for Lincoln-Sudbury. They can send Nelson to try and steal second. If Brookline tries to catch him at second, that could be a chance to send Sacco home to tie, even if they manage to throw out Nelson. but then if Brookline just lets Nelson go, that puts the game-winning run in scoring position. Gregg steps into the box. Pitch, Nelson takes off. In there for a strike, and they're going to let him go. The game-winning run is at second. 0-1, the count to Gregg, and this might be the end of the day for Vasquez. Or it might just be a meeting. We'll see what happens. Boy. I almost don't even know what to say. I almost don't even know how to express how insane this game has been, how insane it continues to be, the tension that continues throughout this contest. What a great game this has been. You know, it's a cliche when you say it's a shame someone has to lose, but it really is a shame that someone has to lose here. Looks like Brookline has made a defensive change. They've moved Q Miller from left field to third base. I think they moved Thaddeus Gamau out to left. Oh, and they intentionally walked Gregg. They intentionally walked Gregg to load the bases. And we got a pinch runner coming in for Gregg. This is number 37, Matthew Garvin. At the plate is number 3, Luke Danielson. First pitch in there, strike one. Oh, and 1 the count. Cracks it! This is going into center field. This might end it. Lincoln-Sudbury sending the winning run home, and they win it. Luke Danielson, the walk-off single to left center, and Lincoln-Sudbury wins the 2022 Lou Tompkins All-Star League 13 and under division championship. What a game. What an absolutely insane game. Anthony Sacco and Ben Nelson come in to score for the tying and game-winning runs on the walk-off single to left center by Luke Danielson. And that is how the season ends. You know, I feel bad for Brookline. You know, cards on the table. You know, Brookline was the team that hired me, so, and I'm from Brookline, so I had a very clear rooting interest here. But my first love above all else is that I get to see a good game. And I got to see a great game of baseball here today. You know, and I'm sure for Brookline this hurts. You know, and it should hurt. The fact that it hurts means it mattered. But, you know, I hope that in the days to come they can still hold their heads high on this one. Because what a season and what a game. The final score here at Memorial Field in Needham, Massachusetts. Lincoln-Sudbury 6, Brookline 5. I assume we'll have some kind of trophy celebration or, trophy presentation after everything. But if they're going to do a trophy presentation, they got to be quick about it because some other teams are getting ready to take the field for the next game. Because they got a whole line of championship games lined up here at Memorial Field. But for now, the two teams are going to line up along the baselines. Looks like someone from the league is coming out with the trophies. Looks like they're getting ready to be presented. We see some happy parents coming out to take photos as they get ready for the trophy presentation. As we see first the runner-up trophy given to Brookline. And then as more parents swarm in getting ready for the photo opportunities, the championship trophy for the 2022 Lou Tompkins All-Star League 13 and under division. Championship trophy goes to Lincoln-Sudbury. I know it's a little hard to see from this vantage point. If I was able to bring my camera closer, I would. It looks like I'm not going to be able to see much from this angle. So for now, I'll just say some last few words here. Like I said, both teams should hold their heads high after this. Obviously, Lincoln-Sudbury, that doesn't need to be said. A well-earned championship. Great fight from that entire team from start to finish. But for Brookline, I think they've got to hold their heads high too. This was a fantastic game. Yesterday's game against Andover was a fantastic game. Great season, great playoff run. Plenty to be proud of. I will recap the action, all the action of this absolutely insane game in a moment, but first, as the teams head off to their dugouts so they can celebrate and also so they can pack up their stuff, because, again, there are other teams getting ready to take this field shortly afterwards. But before we recap the action, just a reminder, if you enjoyed this broadcast, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. This is the end of the season, but I cover plenty of Brookline sports, particularly for Brookline High School. Fall season's just around the corner, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribing to the channel can help. We got plenty of great liveliness in the live chat here today, but if you want to leave any comments after the live stream is done, you can do it in the comments section down below. And also you can go down below, check out the description section of this video, where you can find all the information you need about our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. Find out about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and the many other helpful grant programs they have to help make the Brookline community a better place. And, of course, you can check out the bottom right corner of the screen, just a little self-promotion. My personal website, jessesports.com. Find out more about me, the services that I provide, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team or player. Below that, my email address, agms88@gmail.com, if you just want to contact me directly, ask me any questions you may have. And below that, the URL to my Instagram account, where I post highlights from previous live streams. And with that in mind, let's recap the action here today in this Championship Sunday. Top of the first, Brookline got a 2-out single, but no further. Bottom of the first, Lincoln-Sudbury went down in order, all on strikes. Top of the second, Brookline got a 2-out walk and a steal of second, but no further. Bottom of the second was when Lincoln-Sudbury got on the board. Liam Gregg led off with a leadoff reach-on error on an E5, a throw that pulled the first baseman off the bag. Luke Danielson followed up with a hit-by pitch. Matthew Pazak hit what looked to be a long single, possibly a double, but it ended up being an 8-6 fielder's choice with Danielson out at second. Pazak stole second, and Tyler DeMichelle drew a hard-fought walk to load the bases. And then Armand Gordon got the scoring started with a sac fly to right field. Close play at the plate, but Gregg came in to score, made it 1-0 Lincoln-Sudbury. Top of the third, again, Brookline drew a 2-out walk, stole second, but got no further. Bottom of the third, Lincoln-Sudbury put another run on the board with back-to-back 2-out doubles by Ben Clarkin and Ben Nelson. Clarkin driven in by Nelson's double to make it 2-0 Lincoln-Sudbury. Top of the fourth, Brookline went down in order. Bottom of the fourth, Danielson led off with a single down the first base line, stole second, advanced to third on a ground out to first that made it 2 outs with a runner on third, and then Danielson came home on a wild pitch to make it 3-0 Lincoln-Sudbury. Top of the fifth, Brookline finally managed to get on the board. Eli Hoffman drew a 1-out walk. Trig Driscoll laid down a sacrifice bunt, and Hoffman tried to take advantage of some confusion as no one was covering third base, so Hoffman raced from second to third. First baseman tried to make a throw. The throw sailed, and Hoffman got to come home with the first run of the game for Brookline. That made it 3-1 in Lincoln-Sudbury's favor. Bottom of the fifth, Lincoln-Sudbury got a runner to second, a 1-out single and a steal of second, but no further. And then in the top of the sixth was when this game really went crazy. The leadoff bunt single by Ginny Cho and a throwing error by the pitcher, sending her to second. A wild pitch sent her to third. Hugh Bollinger drew a 4-pitch walk. Bollinger stole second. An erroneous throw from the catcher went into center field, allowing Cho to score, making it 3-2, and Bollinger got to go down to third. James Skeffington was the benefactor of one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. 3 pitches thrown, apparently all 3 called strike, but strike 2 was called twice in a row. And then before the umpire realized his mistake, Skeffington was hit by a pitch. So then after a whole bunch of debate about what that meant, they ultimately awarded Skeffington first base. Bollinger later came in on a wild pitch to tie the ball game as Skeffington stole second and then advanced to third on that same wild pitch that scored Bollinger. And then Michael Doherty launched a triple out to right field, easily scoring Skeffington to give Brookline the 4-3 lead. And then as he was running to third, an erroneous throw from the second baseman allowed Doherty to come in on what was effectively an inside-the-park 2-run home run. That made it 5-3 Brookline. In the bottom of the sixth, Lincoln-Sudbury managed to get 1 run back. A leadoff walk by Danielson. Andrew Labanera pinch ran. A single to left by Armand Gordon put runners at first and second with 2 outs. And then Drew Blanchette came through big with a single to left that brought in Danielson to make it a 5-4 ball game. Brookline got a pair of runners aboard. They got runners to second and third with 2 outs, but a fly out left them stranded. and it was 5-4 going into the bottom of the 7th, and that is when Lincoln-Sudbury came through with their last rally. Anthony Sacco drew a leadoff walk for Lincoln-Sudbury. 2 batters later, Ben Nelson hit a single to left, put runners at first and third as Sacco had stolen second. It was first and third. They intentionally walked Liam Gregg, loading the bases. And then it was Luke Danielson who hit the walk-off single to left center, scoring both Sacco and Nelson. And that was your final. In walk-off fashion, Lincoln-Sudbury takes the 2022 Lou Tompkins All-Star League 13 and under championship by a final score of 6-5. So again, hats off to both teams for a great game. Hats off to Brookline for a great season. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan from Memorial Field in Needham, Massachusetts, signing off. Thank you all for watching, and have a great rest of your Sunday.